What's up, YouTube? It's MythBro, and we've got a brand new patch for Age of Mythology Retold. This is labeled the Age of Mythology Retold Update 17.30764 for those of you keeping check at home. And it says, highlight welcome heroes to the dawn of a new patch. Today's patch will include significant updates and fixes to gameplay, UI controller, hotkeys, non-together, and so much more. You'll find lots of balance updates. Usually I'm most interested in the balance updates personally, and as well as quality of life things. But we're going to be digging into this, going through all the details about this patch. Eventually I'll get some timestamps down below so you can skim through the parts that are important to you. And as always, if you want to stay up to date on the latest Age of Mythology news, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will be uploading these videos before any other creator on the internet because we're just that fast. Let's get into it. We've got Twitch chat down here. Twitch chat, say hi to mom and dad over on YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so game stability and performance. Fixes for various situations where a crash could occur. Always good to see that. Not very specific. Fix for an out of sync that could occur for the undermined god power. It looks like various out of syncs. I'm not going to read through all these in detail. Of course, as always, I will leave these notes down below in the description if you do want to. So various performance out of syncs. Always good to see these type of things happening. Maybe it's something that you've been experiencing a lot. Let me know if maybe one of these fixes helps you out. Fix an issue where input initialization failure could prevent the game from launching. Ooh, and fix a performance problem that could occur after loading a save scenario. So a few quality of life fixes there. Localization, so fixing some of the language, localization strings. Not a huge change for us. Some changes to the achievements for those of you bounty hunters out there. Graphics fixed a bug causing particle effect shadows to appear darker. Fimbulwinter no longer spawns on voice. I think VFX no longer, video effects probably, spawn on allied neutral TCs. Berserks no longer display, yada, yada, yada. Right? More graphic changes. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's get the good stuff. Okay, UI. Spider layer no longer appears on the active god power for non-allied players when cast. I'm looking to see if they've got any changes to the observer mode. Game pause text is now displayed when the game is paused. That's great to have. Icons, now show the input mode they are using. So interesting, rather controller or keyboard. Looks like that's going to show. Resource storage is now properly refreshed when changing unit selection. Fixed download speeds of large save files in multiplayer lobbies. That'd be nice. Multiplayer skirmish lobby settings now persist from your last hosted game. So a good thing to note, if you're used to it resetting, it's going to have your previously hosted settings. So keep that in mind if you're hosting a bunch of lobby games. Ranked and quick match choices now persist from the last time you queued. So that'll be cool. A new visible option has been added to map visibility. What? A new visible option has been added to map visibility. Okay. Players now recently played with now appear in the invite to party default list. Okay. The observer delay while waiting to spectate a live match is now shown in the UI. Was it not already? The observer delay was, I guess, wasn't shown before. Faster updates in the lobby browser. Oh, I like that. I like that. Added a window notification and sound to alert players when a game is found and the window is not active or minimized. Yes! So if you're tabbed out, talking to Twitch chat, or in the other room, I don't know if it says only if the window is not active or minimized. So I don't think this includes like going AFK, because sometimes I'm sitting here and I don't realize the match has started even though I haven't minimized. But at the very least, what would that sound be? Is it just Brostagama? That's a huge quality of life thing. I love that. I love that a lot. Can we get some poggers in the chat for that, boys? Man, that's a good one. Multiplayer server regions are now consistently named and sorted. Yeah, they were random before. I think I might have reported this, actually. Performance warnings will no longer show in auto-matched lobbies. Notifications for failing to garrison units no longer displayed. Yeah, this was popping up all over the place. Steam users trying to use the new game ID URLs may need to verify the game integrity of the files to allow the URLs to work from outside of the game. I'm excited where this is going, because when we get some of these GUIDs and URLs and stuff where we can just launch right in, makes a lot of cool possibilities, of course, for AOMGG that we've been building. Fixed a bug that caused canceled text to inflate the post-game stats. You could cook the books. God Picker Tech Tree now correctly accounts for tech tree overrides. What is a tech tree override? Maybe that's when a god has a... I'm not entirely sure what that part means. Fixed a bug causing partial name searches to not work when searching to invite friends. That's nice. The browse game lobby now features sortable headers. Oh! Is there a rank? Oh my gosh, if there was average rank, it would be game-changing for casting. But at least we don't have to scroll so much anymore. Love it. That's good. Spectators are now shown as a new sortable column in the browser game's lobby. Quick match and ranked matches will now show with player names in the match title in the browse games. Oh my gosh, we're going to see like auto match, Magic vs. Mista in the title. This is going to make my life so much easier for casting. Oh boy. Fixed a bug causing some players reporting options to show an error when submitting a report. Add a new filter to the browse game lobby to hide show full game. So I think the highlights from some of these things is pretty much going to be the lobby updates. I think for me, seeing the sorting options, I guess refreshing faster, some polishing. I think that's going to be the highlights for me from these changes. Let's get moving on down to the hotkeys. Pre-queue hotkeys have been added. Okay. I haven't been doing a ton of pre-queue, but I think maybe I should a little bit. Are you guys using these? I guess they're adding hotkeys for this. Find and select myth unit hotkey entries added. That's nice. Catastropos, I can't say it. Catastropos and rock are no longer selected with all military. Oh, dang. But the rock, it's such a good scout. You don't want it with your military selection. Good change there. What about the pharaoh? What about the pharaoh? That better be in here. I swear it better be here. Fixed a bug causing hotkey assigned to the mouse wheel not to work. Added a hotkey to select a hero without snapping the camera. Added an alternative hotkey for some economic buildings to allow all cultures to have the same set of hotkeys for drop sites. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Add a hotkey to show the tech tree. It could be... You know what? I could probably use that particularly. I feel like I'm always fussing around the window menus trying to find it. So that's probably a good one to add. Catastropos, I got it. The debugger dialog is no longer opened when pressing the default hotkey for selecting all heroes. Okay, well, I'm happy they added this. I'm very sad. I really do not want my pharaoh being selected when I select all military, and it appears that that change hasn't happened. I think a lot of people have asked for this. I don't know if it's just like really difficult to add, or if it's just like in the opinion of the developers, you know, the pharaoh is a military unit, so it should be in a military select all military hotkey. I mean, it goes both ways. I think the smart way about it would be make it so that if the pharaoh is empowering, it like is classified as an economic unit and isn't selected. And maybe if it's not, it selects all military. That would be crazy. But I think that would be really cool. I would like that. Maybe they're working on it, but for now, at least we got it for the rock. We'll take these wins. Controller and Xbox. Now, I have not played Age of Mythology on my beautiful Age of Empires 4 Xbox yet. Who thinks if I get an Age of Mythology Xbox controller, we'll give it a solid review. We need an AOM Xbox controller. How do I get one of those? I'm going to have to write a letter to Bill Gates. Expanded minimap inputs can now be performed while the controller RB button is held. D-pad quick commands were added for the control group menu. Improvements to quick find functionality. Improvements to Y quick actions. UI interactions not currently available will now hide for the controller. Added vibration features, just what we need. Ongoing improvements to controller UI. So some changes there for the Xbox. Maybe we'll try them out someday. We'll see. I mean, I just flipped the water in my hot tub. Maybe we need to do an AOM hot tub. I don't know. Maybe we'll set a goal. We'll do an AOM hot tub stream. We'll see. I once played an Age of Empires 4 tournament that Yodessa was hosting from my hot tub. Good times. Okay, let's go on for the gameplay. Fixes. Researching Secrets of the Titans before or after building a wonder no longer results in a different cost and cooldowns. I didn't even know that happened, but apparently it was. Wonder Age no longer causes the Asgardian Bastion to become free. Okay, Meteor Roulette cheat now has its intended effect. I have not used Meteor Roulette, but it sounds fun. By the way, speaking of cheat codes, for those of you who just can't remember all your cheat codes, I did add it to the resources page over here on AOMGG. So I've got all of the cheat codes on here. So check that out. Oh my gosh, this is a very subtle note, and you're not gonna be super excited about this, but I literally got approved for Google AdSense today. I've been trying to do it, and apparently they don't approve like 90% of users. And I literally just went here and see that we have an ad. So it's working. We can pay for the servers. Yes. Yes. Oh man, my AWS bill will be happy for that. Back to our Meteor Roulette. Thank you, Matreus, for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We are reviewing this patch live here on stream. Say hello to YouTube because we're going to be uploading this bad boy. Okay. Omniscience tech cost is now calculated correctly. Units that can't be healed, the Son of Osiris, can no longer progressively restore their hit points when garrisoned in a building. Oh, I kind of like... Maybe it's because I play Egypt. Having a tiny way to heal Son of Osiris, but I guess it was a bug. Dang it, we can't have any fun anymore. Son of Osiris is out. Okay, let's see. Fixed a bug where Zeus's favor gather raid bonus and Golden Apple's effect were incorrectly generating more favor than intended, especially with the... Oh, we got a little ad there for our music. Fixed a bug that caused some units not to begin patrolling when ordered if they were... Not begin patrolling when ordered if they were ordered to patrol from within a formation. So I guess they weren't patrolling when within formations before, and they changed that. We've got a bug fix for enabling disabling units through triggers not to persist when loading from save games. So I think this is has to do with loading our save games, of course. We're almost to the balance, guys. Land and naval units can now be selected in the same group. Fixed a bug allowing mini Colossus to overlap when using the heal ability. Caravans will now recalculate their carried resource when tasked to perform trading on another town center. So I guess maybe you were getting extra gold or less gold before when retasking. So they've appeared to have fixed that. Fixed bug causing immediately auto-queued villagers in newly built town centers to not function. Okay, so a lot of little bugs. Really just mostly some quality of life things, maybe some bugs you weren't really aware of. Nothing super major there. Let's go on to the campaign. Campaign balance changes. I'm really not going to read these. I haven't played the campaign yet. I'm not really looking for balance changes in the campaign usually, but if that's something of interest to you, I've got this whole thing linked down below. Go check that out. Let me know, have you played through the whole campaign? I played through it when I was a child, back in like 02, but I have not played the new campaign yet. Maybe we will someday. I don't know when, but maybe. You guys played it and it was so good? I'm sure it is good. I'm sure it is good. It's just not really my thing, I'll be honest. I just love multiplayer so much. Okay, balance. This is what I get super excited about with patch notes, so let's see what balance changes we have. Docks address the following issues. Can now properly target the sea snakes and water carnivoras. I guess they weren't before. And fixed a bug where the docks incorrectly showed 2 projectiles in the HUD. They fire 1 projectile. Okay, little change there for the dock. Deathmatch. I have not played Deathmatch yet, but I know there are some Deathmatch enjoyers out there. Starting resources have gone up. That's a big change if you play Deathmatch. Heroic Fleet, cost reduced from 200 to... you know why this is happening, right? This is to give more counterplay against myth units on water. So that's what they're doing there. I think good. Water myth units are really good. I'd be shocked to see if we didn't see balance changes for these here. We'll see. We'll see. All Pantheon changes. Oh, I just realized Twitch chat's getting cut off a little bit. I don't want to leave you guys out. Oh, now there we go. There you go. All Pantheon changes. Okay. The Greek Pantheon. There better be nerfs here. Or buffs for everyone else. We'll see. Favor rate formula. Greeks now earn less favor when praying with a larger number of villagers. So basically there's a fall off. There's like the return on investment is different, has been made. This effect it was already there, but it's more pronounced. Below are the examples. 1 villager, no change. 5 villagers will get minus 4.6% of the total favor. 25 minus 17.6. So the scaling of favor isn't going to be as strong with Greeks as it was before. Major gods, Poseidon. Okay, Poseidon, just so you guys know, historically has had the #1 win rate. By the way, we are adding more stats here this week. Oh my gosh. Obviously, I need to fix that. These weren't even turned on. It literally just got approved. Got to fix that. But God win rates, as you can see, Poseidon sitting here at the top. Even if we looked at the top of the ladder, 59%, 60%, Poseidon has been absolutely crushing it. So let's see if there's some nerfs for them. Oh boy, looks like I'm gonna be writing code after this. Lure fixed a bug where it was unable to research granary upgrades. Now behaves exactly as if it were a granary. Okay, I guess you couldn't. So that's a buff, I guess, to Poseidon. Minor gods, Thracian horses, Cav lifesteal increased. Aphrodite total units resource value converted reduced. So they got a buff here and a decrease there, a nerf there. Okay, myth units. Let's see. Centaur. This is maybe where it'll come in. Special attack, bonus damage versus heroes reduced. Okay, so less effective versus heroes, down to from 0.5 to 0.25. And the cost has been increased an additional 2 favor. That really doesn't seem like that much of a nerf to them. I don't know. What do you guys think? That doesn't feel like very much to me. They just like got like that. They got a buff here. Is that going to be enough to change this win rate we're seeing? Maybe there'll be other things. That's surprising to me. That didn't see that one coming. To be fair though, just so you know, a lot of times these patches are like reactionary from it's not like we made these feedback this week and this patch dropped this week, right? This might have been feedback from a few weeks ago. And if you remember a few weeks ago, it was nothing but Minotaur spam. Could be, not always the case, but just something to consider. Like the balance team isn't necessarily working on the things that are like present in this week's meta, right? And things are changing so quickly. The game came out like a month ago. Human units, archaic age heroes, Jason, Ajax, and Theseus adjusted as follows. Train time decreased from 15 to 5 seconds. So they got buffed? Okay, they got buffed, but they got changed. Okay, bonus for Smith units increased. Okay, they get better against Smith units. Hit points, they already were shredding my Myth units. Hit points reduced. Okay, so they have 50 less hit points. So a nerf there. They train faster. They're more specialized against Myth units, I guess. Wow, that was it. I'm not really super convinced here that Poseidon got any substantial nerfs here. A little changes. Doesn't feel like a lot. Maybe they'll be bringing up the other civs. It has often been the strategy that I've seen in the past where they'll buff up other civs rather than doing a bunch of nerfs. So a little changes. I also like incremental changes. Always nice. Don't want to go too crazy. Let's see what we got next. I think having less hit points will certainly... that's pretty significant against the heroes. That is. 50 less hit points. That'll help a lot with taking those things out. So that is pretty considerable, yeah, as it's called out in Twitch chat there. Egyptian Pantheon. Okay. Now, you know I'm a Ra enjoyer, right? I've been maining Ra, and just to show you like where Ra's been sitting, down here at 43%, I think I've helped bring it closer to like 39%. It was sitting at 39% at one point, but as you can see, Ra across ELOs, not been doing so great. Let's see what they've done to my boy. Man, did they just buff FitzBro? Berry bushes are now gathered 25% faster. Is this the Abbasid Dynasty? They knew this is my civ. We got berry bonuses. Let's go. As fast as huntable animals. Ooh, let's go. That's the only buff. I'm okay. I'll take it. That's a nice buff. There's berries everywhere. Also, let me call out. I've been saying farm is absolute god power. It's nice when you use it in later game, but the trick with Ra is they make you think like, oh, we got this farming god power. we should be farming. Let's farm early on. No, if you do that, you're losing. You're spending your gold. You're like wasting time while the enemy's like raiding, aging up, doing all these things. Like it makes you feel like you should move into farming, and that's why I'm interested. Of like, okay, well now they just buffed berry bushes. You have even more incentive to not be farming. So I don't know. I think there's going to be a rework at some point of how the rain god power fits into the Civ, because it doesn't feel good in Age of Mythology to have a god power that you're not using, that you just are holding on to. Like how many games am I in where I have not used rain, but like I like it when I do get to the farming stage of the game, and maybe that's the point. It's like, but should it be an age 3 god power? Like I've even had the crazy idea of like, what if they had 2 god powers per age? Maybe they had 2 economic god, like something, I don't know. But it feels like the age you get the god power in, it should feel like you have agency to use that god power like in those earlier stages. Like, it doesn't make sense to get an age 1 god power and not use it to the 3rd or 4th age. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'll take it. Berry buff. Any buff to Ra is a buff to FitzBro. So I'll take it. Isis. Let's see. Flood of the Nile cost increased. Let's see. How much they increased by? 5, 6, 8. 3 more favor. Yeah, that's pretty. That's not a whole lot, really, all things considered. I think a gold nerf would actually make it a little harder to get, but because usually you're building that right away. You're building the monument right away, so it's going to delay it just slightly. I don't think that's going to be that massive, really. It already has a discount with the tech. Yeah, ice is ruined. Wait, what else did they change? Let's see. Electrum bullets, Ta. Heal rate improvement decreased from 100% to 50%. Oh boy, that's a lot. Okay, so we got a nerf there to the Electrum bullets tech. The slinger damage removed, replaced with slinger +1 divine damage. How does that come out? Instead of getting 15% more damage, they now get +1 divine damage, which is just damage that ignores armor, to the way I understand it. I'm assuming this is a nerf. I'd have to go in and look at this in the engine. Maybe someone in chat knows. Thank you, Dirty Dan, the Pizza Man, for the Prime sub. For the base slinger, it's +25%. +1 divine damage. It's more. It's way more. Okay, so that's a big buff. Okay, so that's going to be a buff to slingers. I've actually been leaning into making slingers quite a bit, so I kind of like to hear that. +1 is a buff. Okay. Cost increased from 100 gold, 10 favor, to 150 gold and 15 favor. So it is getting more expensive. So it's a buff. It's going to be more expensive, harder to get. Okay. Anubis, Plague of Serpents, Sea Snakes. Yeah, Sea Snakes were really good. Majorly nerfed across the board. Not surprising to see there. That's if you use the Plague of Serpents in the water. They turn into Sea Snakes. They're very good. You see that nerfed. Sobek, Hathor, Locust Swarm. Locust Swarm is now wider, making it possible to damage more units. Okay, a buff. Now hold on a second. Why was this not listed in the... Oh, this is like across god updates. I thought that was like specifically Isis. Okay, you guys know I'm a Sobek main. Locust Swarm is now wider, making it possible to damage more units. So Locust maybe will do a little bit more. It's been very underwhelming. I'm not convinced it'll be amazingly more, but maybe this will do it. They won't dodge it as easier. Does no damage. That's the best Twitch comment. Now does no damage in a bigger area of effect. Sound off, guys. Do you think this is going to make Swarm actually good? But that's a buff to Ra, by the way. We missed that. These are like changes to all the gods. Myth units. The Rock can now properly use the patrol command. Hey, you know what's interesting about this? Why does a transport need a patrol command? Because they know that everyone is using the Rock as a scout and not as a transport. That's why they're giving it the patrol command. Like, let's be real here. And so they're leaning into it and making it a even better scout. So you can have Rocks moving around scouting. I mean, I'm also all about it being like, hey, this is a transport and it's a scout. Like, I'm okay with that. But I think as it is right now, the transport ability feels terrible. It's just like, if you issue a command while it's lifting off, it doesn't move. I've actually been using it as a transport. I've tried, if you've been watching me on stream, and it's like, it's very weird. It just doesn't feel great. So it needs some better logic. We'll see if it gets that at some point, but okay, it's gonna be a better scout now. Laser Gators, the Petsuchos. Bonus damage versus myth unit increased. They buffed the gators? I know the crocodiles. People get really upset when I call them gators. You know, as far as I'm concerned, alligators and crocodiles are general things that look like they eat each other. I know they're different. I know. I went to grade school. They buffed the laser gators. This is freaking amazing. Sebek, I was already playing Sebek and getting some wins. This is going to be a fun ladder grind. If you're watching on YouTube, you need to tune in for my Twitch stream when we play this. It's going to be fun. Crush, you're going to watch me lose every game. We haven't got to the other buffs, right? Crush damage increased by the scarab. Okay, I'm liking this. This is looking good. Buildings, monument to soldiers, cost has been increased. The second available monument. Not significant, but yeah, okay, a little bit of a nerf. There's the monuments. Okay, Egyptian changes. Sound off, guys. What stands out to you? Okay, so set, no changes other than the minor gods, right? So we've got the berry changes for Ra. It's gonna be a buff. I would say net buffs across the board for Ra. It seems like Ra is getting a lot of nice buffs. Isis getting a slight nerf there. That doesn't seem very significant to me. We got some buffs, electrum bullets. Plague of Serpents got nerfed, I guess, on the water. I honestly expected maybe to see some nerfs for Isis or Set. But if we talk about what I was just saying before this, we're seeing some of the lesser used stuff getting buffed up, right? Rather than maybe nerfing down some of the stronger stuff. So maybe we'll see Ra come up to meet where some of these other civs are. So, yeah, I expected maybe some bigger changes, but yeah, I like as a net buff to Ra. Seems like Egyptian's going to be very good, just in general still, I would imagine. Let's see what else we got. Going on to the Norse Pantheon. Convert villagers to berserk, cost increase from 30 gold to 20 food and 30 gold. Ooh, so it's going to cost you food and gold now to do that. Can make that conversion a little harder. What about Loki? We'll see. Convert dwarf to berserk, cost increase from 20 food to 30 food and 10 gold. So it's going to cost you food and gold now to do those conversions of your villagers, whether it's a dwarf or a gatherer, into a berserk. Major god, Odin. Let's see what Odin gets. A nerf? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Great hunt. Maximum food created has been decreased from 800 to 600. That'll be a nerf for Odin. Raven, line of sight reduced from 20 to 10. I was actually just suggesting this during my last stream. We were casting. I was like, I know they gotta have 2 ravens. Maybe they need less line of sight. So I like this change a lot. I still think it's gonna be very good. You can still park it right over a gold mine, right? Also gains additional line of sight per age up. That's kind of cool, I think so. But I think that's a needed nerf for the Raven Scout. Not majorly significant, but it'll certainly have less line of sight. A nice little nerf there. And in just case you weren't aware, Odin sitting up here on the top, just as well with Loki. You can see here Loki. Actually, at the very top, Odin win rates came down, but you got to also consider a lot of people I think stopped playing Odin. Like this is the very top of the ladder. A lot of people have been playing other civs and also kind of figuring out how to deal with some of this. So, but if you look like just below there, Odin's still sitting, pretty highly on top. But not overdoing the nerfs. Loki, convert villager dwarf to berserk is no longer free. Oh, Loki mains and shambles. Where's the Loki tears, guys? No more doing your Ragnarok with villagers. Instead, cost is reduced by 50%. Okay, so you're gonna have to pay. Get out those wallets, boys. You gotta pay for your conversions now. If you're playing Loki, you wanna have some berserks out there. Minor God, Fury of the Fallen technology now indicates affected units with VFX. Okay, not much. That's it. That is it for the Norse. Wow. Not many changes. I don't know. It feels like Norse have been sitting pretty high up on the ladder. If we look across all ELO ranges, I mean, Loki, Odin, Freyr sitting up here pretty nicely. You're going to see some differences as you go across some of these ELO buckets, but it seems like they've been performing pretty well. Minor changes. I feel like this is kind of a net no change in them. Like, yeah, you got to pay for your berserks now if that was a big part of strategy. A little bit less line of sight, a little less food. Really kind of a net no changes for Norse. So, should they have had more buffs, more nerfs? Let me know. Let's keep going on. Atlantean Pantheon. It's like they personally targeted whoever was doing the Loki cheese converting villagers. Wood increased, starting wood, 200 to 250. Okay, Atlanteans getting a buff already. An additional 50 wood. What are you going to do with it? Let me know. Gaia. Economic upgrades. Cost reduction has been increased. So even bigger discounts, lower prices at Gaia. Economic Guild now also reduces the building's cost by 40% as well. Woo, big buffs. So going for this early on, probably going to be more of a thing. Gaia Lush. Maximum radius has also been increased, so that creep will be larger. So Gaia, a few buffs, pretty significant right there out of the gate. Minor gods, Oceanus, the Carnivora god power. The water Carnivora, I'm assuming, let's see, has been, it's been buffed. Hack damage increased. Pierce armor has been increased. Would occasionally kill ships instantly. Oh, I guess that's not supposed to. I thought that was just, I kind of figured that's how it would work. Pretty strong though. I guess a buff to the Carnivora on the water. Other than that, fix. Prometheus, alluvial clay, Promethean and Promethean offspring hit points improvement decreased from 30% down to 20%. I'll be honest, I feel like it's very rare I ever see these kill anything. They're usually like running around, harassing, like maybe tanking a little bit, but like I feel like I usually just see these like instantly die and get very little value. So I don't know. I expect maybe a little bit more buff for these guys, but I guess in fact a little bit of a nerf for them. Maybe they're OP and I just clearly not spamming them enough, using them enough. I don't know. They are speedy. Thea, Poseidon's secret technology now also reduces the cost of heroizing the cavalry units. That'll be a nice buff there. The Hesperides tree, god power, now also spawns 2 dryads each time it is cast. First 2 casts are free as part of the note. Okay, so a little bit of buff there. Try and encourage you to go for, this might go towards this minor god, get that god power buff to Thea. Hyperion, heroic renewal tech now also gives plus 10% hit points to heroes. Chaos. I would say this has been net OP. Its cost has been increased by 10 favor. Cooldown increased from 150 to 180. So they're gonna make it harder. People have been just like casting chaos over and over again. It's gonna be more expensive. The cooldown's gonna be longer. I mean, I don't know if it's that major. I mean, 10 more favor, and I mean, it'll help in the long run, but still going to be very good. I imagine. But this will at least make it so it's not spammed quite as so frequently. But if you leave time between battles, can fit in another 30 seconds or so. I don't know if that's going to be absolutely major as far as that's concerned. Leto, the spider lair. No one's aging up a Leto, but let's see if they buffed it. Cooldown reduced for the spider lair. Man, I had hoped to see more buffs. Is anyone out there making the automatons? I think they're pretty underwhelming. You see everybody going up with Oceanus in most. I don't know if I see anybody do the automatons. Maybe at some lower ranges you're seeing it a little bit, but at least in the pro games, have not seen Leto really picked at all. So I expect maybe some more buffs there. Not seeing it here today. Atlas Implode. Automatons are garbage. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would have said too. Units are now sucked in faster. Okay, yeah, Implode absolutely sucks. I've cast this and had it do like no damage so many times. The only way it like works is when you like cast in the middle of the player's base, and maybe that's the only way to use it. But like I want to be able to use my god power in different places, or like target the enemy army, and it'd be like you'd use it in the enemy army, it'd be like, oh, that's cool, right? And just like walk away from Implode, like they didn't care at all. So maybe this will actually suck them in faster, as the text says. Myth units. Prometheus cost increased. 75 food, 8 favor to 90 food, and 8 favor. Wait, what? They're making them more expensive? Why? Hold on. Am I mixing this up? What am I missing here? Why is this more expensive? I'm not thinking of a different myth unit, right? These are the little gray, these are the things we just talked about, how they're like, they don't do a whole lot. I don't know. Good late game tanks. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that as well. It's like, yeah, maybe it's just, it's coming in to be a factor at later stages. So, yeah, the 3-minute Chronos Nerd Rush. So specifically, yeah, I mean, the Chronos Rush is good. So maybe it's just literally targeted at that. I bet you that Chronos Rush is also particularly like absolutely crushing people in the middle of the ladder, middle to lower stages of the ladder. So like, I can't understand that. I don't feel like I've seen this a ton personally, and usually when I do, I just hold it and it's not very hard. But I guess they're nerfing these bad boys. So let me know how you feel about that. The Lampedes adjust as follows. Damage changed from 24 Pierce 20 Crush down to 24 Pierce 20 Divine. So a little bit of a change there. Attack range has also been buffed. Okay, so a little bit of a change / buff there. Atlanteans getting tons of changes. Seems to really be the focus of this patch. Atlantean heroes, bonus damage versus myth unit has been increased. Arcus, okay, I think I like this. Movement speed increased up to 4 from 3.75. Oracle heroes no longer found selected with the Find Select Hero hotkeys. Buildings, essentially says human units, and then it's talking about heroes, but they are humans before they become heroes. But I guess heroes get a little bit of buff. Buildings, economic guild cost decreased from 80 wood 15 gold to 50 wood 15 gold. Therefore, the new cost for the Gaia is 30 wood and 9 gold. Lush go. Manner adjusted as well. Hit points going up and build points decreased. Whew. That was a lot of changes here. A lot of changes to the Atlanteans. Okay, going down to modding. Let's see what we have. UI mods are now treated as safe for multiplayer, including ranked gameplay. Ranked/quick play. Fixed bugs causing mods not to install correctly when there is a symlink in the file directory. Field of view from modded main menu background no longer persists in the gameplay. Fix an issue with unsubbing from a mod was impossible. So a few changes to mods there. Hopefully they just work better in general. I would love to host some mod show matches or some fun stuff, but the instability just makes it, instability makes it too hard to use right now. Ongoing thing, investigation. They're always going to be tracking issues reported by the community. If you see something, make sure you go report it on the forums. Posting on Reddit doesn't do anything. You want to go over to the Age of Empires forums if you find any bugs, things to note, and report them there. Okay, guys, so sound off. What do you think about this brand new patch for Age of Mythology Retold? I think the headline for me is major Atlantean buffs across the board. Some buffs to water hero myth units, or hero boats to counter the water myth units. Minor nerfs to Greeks. I don't think it's that significant. Kind of expected to see more, but maybe we'll wait and see. Maybe they're trying to buff other civs up. Ra definitely getting a buff. Kind of surprised maybe Isis or Set not getting any tiny nerfs or something, but we'll wait to see on that. Norse pretty much getting untouched other than the change to the Berserk conversion, which if that was a big part of your strategy, maybe that is a big nerf to you, but generally seems not a whole lot there. And then we didn't see any type of map adjustments or anything like that. We got a few quality of life. I'm excited about the lobby browser, some of the updates to that. It's gonna be very nice. But that's gonna be it, guys, for our patch update here at the end of September. Let me know, were there enough buffs, enough nerfs, changes that you're looking to see, bugs that you wanna see? Maybe they'll get it in the next one. So with that, thank you so much for tuning in for this patch review. If you want to continue the conversation, I've got my Discord links down below where I've got channels for each of the Pantheons you can come chat about, as well as forums where you can post your build orders you're trying, check out some of them as well. Or if you're a developer and want to get involved with AOMGG, I've got a lot of issues posted for things we're looking to add. So if you want to get involved, come let us know in the Discord and we'll hit you with that dev role. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.